Started. All right, come to a comfortable seat. And then as you come to your comfortable seat, let your hips be up on something, especially if you have any tightness through the hip flexors and extenders or through the low back. Just make sure to give yourself that little bit of ease by sitting up higher. And then as you move your sitting bones, this enables you to tilt your pelvis so your belly can move a little bit forward. Find that tilt so you have a little lumbar curve. Let your hands rest down. And as you close your eyes, take a couple big breaths, letting your breath help you sense and tune in to what's present for you. And as you notice the details of what's present, just bring whatever that is to mind, noticing the specifics, noticing what the sensations are and where. Then connecting hands together at heart center, gently press palms, lift your shoulders up and back. And as you exhale now, bow toward your heart. Softly opening your eyes, release your hands down, and then take one hand to your belly and one hand to your back. And now tilt your pelvis forward and back so you can feel that action of your belly coming forward and then your belly pushing back. Just notice that motion, an anterior tilt and a posterior tilt here if you're anatomy nerds like me or if that happens to be your job. So now as you let your belly come forward, keep it there and feel it tilting forward, but then engage the low belly and engage the low ribs. So you're not losing the tilt forward, you're not pressing back, but you're engaging the core around it. So take a big breath right here, feeling that engagement, that hug in to support the tilt. Keep that, and you might have a little engagement through the glutes happening, but notice the low belly and the low ribs engaging. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead, and exhale, hands come to your heart. We're going to keep that engagement as we move through our arms a couple more times, inhaling to stretch up and exhaling to bring hands to heart center. Inhale and exhale. One more, full inhale. Long, deep exhale. Now inhale, stretch up. Exhale, take a twist over to the left side. And as you do so, you're trying to maintain that tilt of your belly forward and the engagement. Inhale, lift up taller. Exhale, low ribs draw in to help you twist a tiny bit more. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, taking that twist over to the right side. Again, that tilt of your pelvis and engagement through the core. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, low ribs engage. Inhale back into center. Now switch the cross of your legs. And then move sitting bones. Find that tilt of your pelvis so your belly is coming forward, and then engage gratitude arms. As you take gratitude arms, elbows are hugging in, you're rotating your arms so your thumbs are moving back, engage your low ribs. They really like to splay forward, especially if you have a big lumbar curve here. Take a full, big, deep breath. Feel free to add a little ear to shoulder, but this is that start of the heart openers, that start of expanding and opening through the chest. And then bring hands behind you to clasp. Press palms together, lift your shoulders up and back. And as you hug your elbows back, think of keeping joints unlocked. Core engaged. Take a big inhale, lift your ribs up higher, heart up higher. And exhale, release your hands. Take them in front to clasp. Go forward with your arms and round back through your upper back. The trick here is to not round back through your low back, so you keep that tilt of your belly forward. Just draw your low ribs back and your upper back back. Inhale, rise up tall, and now shift forward, coming onto hands and knees. And for just a moment, shift back into a child's pose. And in that child's pose, shift your hips. Move them a little side to side. Then as you settle your head down, take a couple big breaths and recognize, notice for yourself what's present for you. Tuning into the sensations. And now inhaling, rise up to hands and knees. And from hands and knees, a little bit of movement in a cat and cow. But first, rotate elbow pits forward and push. Keeping strong and broad through the shoulders. Inhale, tilt your pelvis to your belly is dipping down, shoulder blades engage. Exhale, round your spine upward, expanding into the back body. Inhale, belly toward the ground. And exhale, round your spine upward. One more this way, full inhale, long, deep exhale. And now back into center, we're gonna inhale and reach our right leg back behind us and turn open with our hip. Bend your knee, press through your heel toward the left side, reach through your thigh. Try to reach your thigh toward the wall behind you. Engage your low belly and your low ribs. Take one more big breath. Exhale, release your knee back to the ground. Inhale, reach back with your left leg, turn open with your hip. Bend your knee, press your heel toward the right side, and reach longer through your thigh. Engaging low belly and low ribs, take another full breath. And then releasing your left knee down to the ground. Inhale, reach back with your right leg, reach your left fingertips forward. Now, as you reach through your heel behind you, tone your low belly and tone your low ribs. Maybe lift your right arm or your left arm up rather. Take a big, deep breath, toning around the core. And then exhale, both hands, both knees come back to the ground. Inhale, reach back through your left leg. Reach your right fingertips forward to start with, and then engage the low belly and the low ribs. So you're supporting through the core, and then lift up with your right arm if you would like. Full breath. Good. Exhale, both hands, both knees come back down. Inhale, right leg and left arm reaching out. Tone your core. Press through your standing hand. Exhale, both hands, both knees come back down. Inhale, left leg and right arm reach out. Take a big, full, deep breath and find that engagement, low belly, low ribs. Exhale, both hands, both knees release down. And now we'll do a little stretch through the glutes. So cross right leg behind your left. So your knees are coming right up into each other. And then use your hands to support you to shift your hips back as far as is comfortable. Hips back towards your heels. And then work your hands a little further forward. Maybe you're walking your hands out to the right side here to get a little longer stretch through the left side body. Take a big, full, deep breath. And then back into center, rise back to hands and knees, uncross your legs. And left leg crosses behind your right. And then work your hands back, hips back towards your heel. Walk hands forward for a little bit more stretch through the sides. Take a deep breath. You're always welcome to walk your hands out to the left here for more length through the right side. Full big breath. And then come back into center and shift your way onto hands and knees. And from here, locate your pillow or bolster and bring it to the front of your mat. And again, it will work with either one, pillow or bolster, or you can always put two blocks together and put a blanket over them. That works too. So we're gonna lay over our bolster with our elbows on the ground, like we're coming into a low plank pose, which technically we're gonna do. So now bend your knees and push your knees down into the ground, so much that you feel your sitting bones try to lift. Now push your elbows down, and as you exhale, you're gonna try to lift your belly, your low ribs, off of your pillow or bolster. And even if they're still on it, because mine certainly is still on it, you're trying to lift it away to tone through the core. Extend your heart further forward, push with your knees, push with your forearms, take a full breath. And if it's hard to speak, then you're working hard, right? So push, lift, extend your chest, big breath. And then release all the way back down. You can set your legs down. You can rest your head on your arms here if you would like to, but take a big, deep breath. And one more time, finding that engagement of your core with the input from what your belly is resting on, okay? So now bend your knees, push down with your knees to lift your sitting bones, push down with your elbows and your forearms to lift through the low belly, the low ribs, lift your chest. Take a big breath as you push and lift. On your exhale, lower all the way back down. Let your head rest for another full breath. And now come up to your hands and knees, and you can set your bolster aside. And from hands and knees, we're setting ourselves up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose, and pedal out a little bit, bending one knee at a time. And now look in between your hands and walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Heart lifts. Exhale and fold over your legs. Hands to hips. Press back on hips. Lift up and open through your shoulders. Knees bent. Squeeze your glutes and rise. Good. So as you come all the way up to standing, again, look down at your feet and find a rooted place. Feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and root them down. Now first, open up with palms. Palms are facing forward, and then rotate even more as you lift your shoulders up and back. Take a little ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Then bring hands behind to clasp. We came here from our seat before, so lift your shoulders up and back again. Shoulder blades engage. Press palms. Wrap elbows back toward each other. As you lift up and open through your chest and your heart space, engage through low belly, low ribs. Shift your weight onto your left foot and begin to press your right foot back as you tilt your heart forward, but keep it lifted, and then step back into a lunge. Center with your hips, take a big inhale, lift up with your heart. Exhale, settle a little bit deeper. Inhale, big opening through your chest. Exhale, release your hands down, plant them, and step back to a downward facing dog pose. Take a big, deep breath. Inhale, come forward to a plank. You can always use knees on the ground here if you like. That's my favorite option. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Expand your front. Reach further forward through collarbones and ribs, but keep a strong, toned core. Keep that toned core as you bend your elbows and lower down. And from your belly, hands right by your ribs, Reach back with one leg at a time to lengthen and then root down through toes. Now, as you push your hands down, take an exhale and engage low belly and low ribs like you're trying to lift them away from that bolster that you had underneath you before. Inhale, curl up and open through your chest, opening into a cobra. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Head can come to rest. Inhale, curl, open. And exhale, lower your head back down. Inhale, curl open through chest first. Shoulders are up and back. Lift your gaze. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Take a big breath. And then walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Hands to hips. From here, lift up and open through your shoulders first. You're hugging your elbows back. And then as you push through your feet, squeeze your glutes and rise. So inevitably, if you do that work through the shoulders first, then you open up with the chest before you even rise up. Okay, so second side here, as you find inner hip distance apart and parallel with your feet, lift and spread your toes and root them. Hands come behind to clasp. Press palms, lift shoulders up and back. Hug elbows back. As you lift up with your front, tone through the core. Engage your low belly and your low ribs, supporting your back body. Shift your weight onto your right foot and start to lift your left leg behind you. You can always come to just touching your toes down behind you or lift more to that warrior three place, then bend into your front knee and softly step back into your lunge. Center with your hips. Take a big inhale, lift your heart. Big exhale, tone the core. Good, one more big breath. Next exhale, hands come all the way down to the front of your mat and step all the way back. Downward facing dog pose, big breath. Inhale to plank. Knees can come down if you want. Rotate elbow pits forward and push, expanding into the back body, then grow longer through the front, but stay strong through the core. Exhale, lower down. Hands either come alongside your body with your thumbs aiming down, or clasp your hands behind you like we have in our standing position. Shoulders lift up and back regardless. And then if you're clasping, press palms, hug elbows back, keep them unlocked. Exhale, low belly, low ribs engage. Inhale, chest lifts, legs lift if you would like. Take a full breath. Exhale all the way back down. Hands come to rest. Head comes to rest on your hands if you would like. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs, checking in with your low back, your glutes, your hamstrings. And now gently press yourself all the way back to a child's pose. And from your child's pose, a little bit of movement through your hips, a little movement through your arms, and then take a couple big breaths. Then inhale, push yourself all the way up to your seat and come down to sitting bones. And now from your sitting bones, we're going to get a little bit more into our legs. So first, walk your feet out wider than your mat. Hands come behind you, and we're going to windshield wiper from an upright place here. So both knees over to the left, both knees over to the right. Stay pressing strong through your hands so that your chest stays lifted, your shoulders stay engaged. And then back into center, walk your feet out just a little ways so you can sit more upright. Take an inhale and lengthen through your spine. Exhale, wrap your arms around your legs as you tuck your chin in, allowing for that little bit of a counter pose to some of the back bends we've done. Full big breath. And now inhale, rise all the way back up, and we'll take one more seated stretch. So with this one, you have your choice. We're gonna take our cow head legs. So if full cow head is something that feels good, then you can cross right leg under the left to bring your heel back towards your hip, left leg over the top to work towards stacking with your knees. If that is not where your body is going today, which is totally fine, then you're gonna extend your right leg out in front of you and cross your left leg. So you can do a half version. Whichever one feels the best, feel free to take the variation, especially with that top leg, that feels good in your body. So maybe it's a little bit more of a figure four pose than it is totally crossed over. Your choice. So you find what feels the best. Engage both feet. Move your sitting bones. Take an inhale and lengthen. If you have a little more space to fold, maybe hinge at the hips and fold over your legs. If your body is saying, nope, crossed legs is good enough, then stay right where you are. Take a big, deep inhale and grow longer through your spine. Long, full exhale. Then inhale, rise all the way back up and uncross your legs. And then shift left leg underneath if that's in your practice. If not, you're going to extend it out long. Right leg over the top. And because we're not symmetrical, you don't have to look identical on both sides. So if on one side you did half, you can do the full on the other side if that's what your body's calling for. It's okay. Move sitting bones. And then press down with fingertips, lift your ribs up high, engage your feet. So think of pinky edges pressing down to help activate the ankles. And then walk your way forward if that's in your practice. And that can be done with the half version as well. Or you don't have to fold. Take a big breath. And then inhale, gently bring yourself back upright. Uncross your legs. And we're gonna make our way all the way down onto our backs. From your back, pull knees up close and just take a moment for a full breath. And think of close as wherever that is for your body. So if it feels more comfortable to take knees wide or knees narrow or knees not quite as close, then go to what's comfortable. Deep breath. And now you're going to have your choice. You can use a blanket here or a pillow or bolster here. You can set the pillow or bolster under your hips or under your legs, whichever feels the best in your body right now. If you want a little bit more restorative bridge type action, then you're welcome to set it underneath your hips. But now come to cactus or a T with your arms. You're allowing a little more natural opening through the chest. Inch your shoulder blades a little closer together and take a big breath. Palms are facing the ceiling. If you have palms down here in your T, flip them over, giving your rotator cuff a chance to be in that natural rotated place. Shake your head now. Nod your head yes. Nod your head to the right. and to the left. And back into center, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. And then as you come to settle into the variation of Shavasana that works the best in your body, you can shift to a different position for your arms or your legs, but come to your rest. Letting eyes close. Letting all the work that you've done in your body today settle into your cells. Begin to take a deeper breath. And add gentle movement into your fingers and into your toes. Maybe a little movement of your head side to side. Then slowly bend your knees and roll to one side. Whichever side feels best in your body. And gently press yourself back up to your seat. And as you connect, palms together at heart center, let your eyes close and take a deep breath. Have a beautiful, peaceful day. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.